Hey, what is up, techies? Vicky from the Lamenton back with another quick video. And today I'm going to try very hard to make you understand what blockchain technology is. But before that, I want to make sure you understand these terms because I'll be using them throughout this video and I don't want you to get stuck in the middle. I want you to travel along with me throughout this video. So, alright. Let's start. First one is called transaction. So transaction is any instance of buying or selling something. So transaction doesn't bluntly mean buying or selling of money. It means anything that has value. So exchange of, say, transaction of money, transaction of goods, transaction of services, transaction of data, everything like that. And then the next one is called ledger. So ledger is a book or a diary that contains list of all the transaction that has been taken place till date, and it's sorted based on time. So that's called a ledger, a diary that has information about all the transaction that has happened till date. And then the next one is called node. So node, according to this video, is any computing device that has a strong internet connection. So computing device mean desktops, laptops, tablets, smartphones, and any device that is capable of performing calculation and is connected to the internet. And then the last thing is called algorithms. So algorithms is a step-by-step procedure of solving a mathematical problem. So that's called algorithm. So remember these four terms and you'll comfortably get through this video along with me. So what is blockchain? Why is it the new hot topic of the town? Who commercialized it? How do I use it? Is it safe? Is that the new internet? Whoa. I'm going to explain all of those to you. So what is blockchain? Blockchain is an immutable distributed ledger that is capable of keeping track of all the transaction that has been taking place in a network. So let me break down the term for you. Immutable, meaning the data in that table can never be altered or deleted, kind of like a tuple in Python. Alright, so you cannot alter or delete anything in the table. You can either delete the entire table or keep it as it is. So that's called immutable. And then distributed ledger, meaning the ledger which is used to keep track of all the transaction that has been taking place in that network. So that ledger is not centralized. I mean, it's not governed by a single person or an organization. The ledger is distributed as a copy to all the people who are present in that network. So that's called distributed ledger. So what is not a blockchain? Bitcoin is not a blockchain. Blockchain is a technology, it's a concept, and Bitcoin is a product that uses blockchain technology. Since both came out in 2008, people often tend to get confused. They're not the same. And just in case you want to know what Bitcoin is and why is it popular and should you consider investing in them, I suggest you to click on this card that leads to that video. And for some reason, if you want to see it later, after this video, link is in the first line of the description. You're welcome. So that's what blockchain is by definition. But let me try to give you an example so you tend to understand it a lot better. Let's say let's go by common example. Let's say you want to handle a transaction. So how do you do that? First things first, you have to have a bank account, and then you would approach a bank stating that you want to transfer this amount of money to this person having this account number, and the bank asks for some commission to handle the transaction and then sends that money to this person successfully. So how many of you are involved? Person A, you, person B, the other one, and person C, bank. And here bank is the centralized medium. Be it any number of person getting involved in the transaction, every single penny has to go through the bank. So one central medium. And let's face it, how many of you 100% trust a bank? So there are chances that a bank can get robbed, right? So it has only central database. So someone could hack the bank and transfer all the digital currency to their account. There are chances that a bank can get robbed or hacked. And moreover, it's someone unknown who is getting involved in the transaction. The only reason you trust a bank is because there are no other options to rely upon. So that's the traditional method of handling a transaction. Now let's go through the blockchain method of handling the transaction. So first things first, you will sign up and your computer will get added as a node to that network. And then you will request a transaction, and that transaction request will be added to a ledger, and a copy of that ledger will be sent to other 1 billion people who are using that network. Do you understand? There is no central node. It's all distributed. So the 1 billion people who are using that network will know that this transaction is taking place. And computers that are online in that network will validate the transaction using some complex algorithms, and based on Based on validation, it will certify that this is a valid transaction, and that transaction request will be added to a block, to a chain of other similar transactions. So do you get it? A block of data getting added to a chain of transaction, blockchain. All right, so those transactions takes place one after the other. The first transaction that came in will go out. So why is it better than the traditional method of handling transaction? Multiple reasons. Number one, there are no third party people who are getting involved in this transaction, like banks and brokers and stuffs like that. It's only you and the other person, so you can be sure of your transaction, and it will avoid other people getting advantage of your transaction, like commission or fraud or things like that. And number two, nobody can hack the system. A traditional method In traditional method, there was only a centralized database, so there are chances that someone could hack the system and steal all your money. But blockchain is distributed, so even if someone can hack, he can hack 2 systems, 10 systems, maybe 100 systems, but it is impossible for him to hack 1 billion systems simultaneously. And even if he could hack only the last block of transaction, because like I said, it will become immutable. So once a transaction get added to the chain, the previous transaction can never be accessed or altered or deleted. It's fixed, it's immutable, it can only undergo that transaction. So by the time someone is trying to hack the last block of data of those 1 billion computers, another new transaction get added and the previous transaction will become immutable. So there is no way for someone to simultaneously hack 1 billion computers. I mean, there are very less chances of someone hacking a blockchain based transaction. So you can be sure of your transaction. So that's why blockchain is better than, at least I think it's better than the normal way of transaction. Blockchain is kind of like Git. Things get updated in real time, and people who pull data from that repository will know that changes are being made to that file in real time. And do you know what Git is? GitHub? No? You're gonna use computers for the rest of your lives and you don't know what Git is? Not at all acceptable. No, 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 no. But I got you covered, as always. So if you want to learn what Git is, then drop a quick like below, and based on the numbers, I'll make a video on what Git is and how to use it and why is it popular and things like that. All right, now back to blockchain. So what else resembles blockchain? Google Docs, why not? So Google Docs is an application that works similar to blockchain. So it's not based on blockchain, but it's something similar to that. Let me show you. So here we are. We have an iPad and a phone. Both are installed with Google Docs and both are signed in different mail IDs. So here in iPad, I'm going to create a new document file, and then I'm going to add something, save it, and then share it with the mail ID in which the Google Docs on my phone is signed up. So I'm sharing it now, and I'll get notified on my phone about the new document that's been added. So I'm going to click the document and I'm going to open it, and I'm seeing the same document in 2 different devices. Now I can make changes in real time. So when I type something on my iPad, so it will get reflected on the Google Docs on my phone, and I can do the opposite also. I can make changes on my phone and it will get reflected on my iPad real time. And I can go a step further and do things simultaneously on both the devices. So I'm going to make changes to the same document in both the devices simultaneously, and you will see things are getting reflected quickly. So that is something how blockchain works. Everything happens simultaneously in real time, and you cannot make changes without being unnoticed by people on that network. So that's an analogy of how blockchain works. And I didn't want to get into the technical details of how it validates a transaction and what are the algorithms that are behind it. But if you want to know, then drop a comment below. So that's it from my side. Hope you enjoyed this video. I thought of giving you some more examples on blockchain, but this video is quite long for you to get bored, I guess. But I'll give you those examples if I try to make a sequel to this video explaining the technical stuff. So like I said, drop a like if you want to know what Git is, and comment S if you want to understand the back end of how blockchain works and how people make money out of it and things like that. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you soon. I got you covered as always. So if you want to learn what Git